Good morning, Hansi. How you doing, bud?
Hey.
All right, so we're gonna make a video today in response to Traveling Robert. It's actually my first video, and it is in response to the 2-year anniversary on his 1706 because it's our 1-year anniversary for our 1706. I'll show you our TV real quick. So this guy, we bought it way before we bought the RV. Little overboard, but it's a 15 all-terrain, small lift, bigger off-road tires. The thought there was that we would potentially have a trailer and that we might want to boondock, and we might want to do that in a BLM park. And if we did, then that would be something that we could handle. Now, one of the biggest upgrades is my Retrax cover. It's scratched because of our Hansi dog who likes to jump. But this is a Mondo cover. Very easy to move, super secure. 21 inches from the bed to the top of the frame up here. And why is that important? Because 3100 watt Champion 30 amp generator fits right here under that cover. And again, that was by design. I think I did really well with that. Got the cargo box, the rolling toolbox from Home Depot that stays in here permanently. Ice scraper, trekking poles. But this guy holds all the tools, all the ropes, everything that you need that can be pulled out pretty quickly if you need the extra space. And then, of course, the Yeti knockoff cooler, which is a Champ. Now, I'll show you, I'm a key nerd. There's my key. I believe in having one key, and I do believe in having locks, like this receiver hitch lock. And I believe that having just one key, my ignition key, for this and all my padlocks is the best way to go. How you doing, bud? This thing is a Champ. I love these. Get them on eBay. You can go to Bolt to get those. But if your car qualifies with the ignition key on the Bolt locks, you got to get those. Best thing I've ever done. Because I'll show you here in a second. Now, we got the trailer. We wanted a tab teardrop initially. I think a lot of people are drawn to those. But when you get into it, you realize, gosh, 25 grand for something with really low capacities, not as good of a deal as, say, something like this that was 21 on the sticker and we walk with 16. And then you can finance for 12, 15 years and write down the interest as a second home on your tax bill every year. Don't know why you can't ever do that, because we pay less than $170 a month, including insurance, for this, and we didn't put much down at all. Now, we got it because we wanted RV. We're a small family. We have our first daughter, born March 15. She's 1 last year when we bought it. We thought it was going to be plenty big for the family, including her. We were right. But being new to the RV camping idea, we went a little overboard. We went to Montana. We spent 2 weeks driving there and back, and it was about 4,500 miles on that trip. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. Now, I'll show you a couple things that we replaced. First thing is the cheap, crappy red lights. This is dirty because we're winterized. Of course, as it warms up, we're going to clean this up. But the LED replacements from Optronics from eTrailer. Get the left hanging license plate bracket and put them on both sides, because who doesn't need a vanity plate? The LED brake lights are a huge upgrade for the cost. You will break one, you will have to replace a light. Just go ahead and do it. They're not a direct fit, close enough. The other thing, you got to get the end caps with the bug-free filter, and then the retainer clips. That happens a lot. As far as upgrades go, talk about the baby. If you're going to have the screen open and not have the door shut, you got to get this to keep the baby from falling through the fiberglass screen, because it will happen. I'll show you a little bit more features on that on the inside. The one key theory, you get the RV lock from rvlock.com without a key. Best thing you can do. Really good idea. And then as far as not having a key, this thing is keyless because the Combi Cam, these guys are awesome. You don't have to have a key, just pick those up and then keep your thumb latches. While I'm over here, I'll show you this. Go get you some pipe insulation. It's cheap stuff, and then cut it to, you know, about a foot, or actually 10 inches, and shove that into your vent exhaust. When you're on the road, it will keep it from getting damaged, and then in the winter, it will keep it from getting cold inside. I had to get the tongue jack lift, whatever you call this thing. When it's hot, you don't want to be cranking on raising and lowering your trailer. This is worth its weight in gold. It also has the level on there. And I showed you the one key theory. When you're talking about the bolt locks, the padlocks, boom. I'm not worried about where the padlock key is, where the RV door key is, where the luggage key. I got the one key. That's it. The first thing that usually goes on these things is, if you know what I'm talking about already, this emergency brake controller. Don't ever pull this out, because if you've got a battery at all, any kind of charge, if you pull this out, it is going to sit here and melt, and you're going to be surprised. So do yourself a favor. If it is a chore to get this thing on and off, when you're hooking and unhooking, go get one of these. It will save your life in terms of ease, and it'll save you a few bucks replacing this, because you do not need to pull that out unless you are in an emergency. I won't go through features and benefits, because I think Robert does a good job with talking about the 1706, but I will tell you, worst thing in the world, Atwood on-demand water heater. Worst thing in the world. It is either 400-degree water or it is 30-degree water. Not the best thing. Now the second worst thing is the flap that goes on the range vent. This thing breaks non-stop, and unfortunately this will be the second one that we put in here, and this is for the winter. This one too is broken. If someone will make a aluminum one, I will pay 3 times as much for it. Now, I mentioned one key. This is 751 lock that everybody has, the luggage lock. This actually had a thumb latch lock. There we go, filter down there. It had the thumb latch, but the thumb latch that I had was actually just a little too short, and so the door fell open coming back from Montana, and my shower head was dragging down the interstate. So make sure, if you do get the thumb latch, get the little bit longer one. You don't want to be embarrassed by that. The other thing invariably happens, the black water tank cap breaks right there at that little notch. Cheap plastic. I got to upgrade it. I replaced it with more cheap plastic, and put the cap that has the macerator extension for the garden hose. I don't have one, but if I get one, I've got it. So again, think if you're going to upgrade, do that every time, just like the LED brake lights. Now, I'll show you some things that we've done inside real quick. Oh, it's bright. So there's the Get the rug. You got to have the rug. Sand and dirt. Now, we've got the 1-year-old. Good old locking hasp will save you every time, because she's at 1, she's already figured out, even with that shut, she can pull that down and the door opens. Well, last line of defense, she tests it every time. And of course the RV lock, it works by remote, so if we're in bed and I hear her take off for the lock at night or something, you just hit the button and it locks over and you're good. Now, I mentioned the rug. I'll show you that. Go get you a runner and cut it to length. And, you know, it doesn't cost a whole lot to do, but it cuts down on all the free dirt and dust and sand that flows through here when you're camping. And one of the things that really helps, that was the excess, by the way, is if you have a Dyson, you recognize that. That's a base station charger for the Dyson. Of course, it's junky in here because it's winterized. But you keep your extensions. This charges on base power. Huge lifesaver, especially if you've got a little one. And as far as our pantry goes, the upgrade here is you've got the, you got to get one of these, mount it. You've got your switch if you need to turn that off for whatever reason to cut all power. You've also got a USB charging access port so that you don't have to worry about keeping up with all your phone chargers and other stuff. And at 3 amps, that will juice an iPad pretty quickly. You can see where the Dyson charger is plumbed. It actually feeds through a dressed up hole, not a big deal. And then these guys also insulate you from any power spikes at the camp. Not a big deal, but if you've got it, use it. Of course, I did dress up the wiring up here. You know, when you're talking about all the cables that run to and from for power and cable and everything else, you'll notice this is the 19-inch Jensen. It does fit. I'll try to square up so that you can see. You've got to get it behind there, but it's fine. As long as you mount low enough, you can clear this without pulling that down, and it fits back in there. It's fine. And that's a huge upgrade compared to the 15-inch. I mean, 4 inches on 15 is it's a lot of percentage. I'm not going to do math on live video. The other big one is Bed Bath & Beyond hand soap, men's shampoo, lady shampoo, one touch, easiest thing in the world. The other thing, I'll show you this here in a second. This wasn't intentional, it was just leftovers. You got to get the insulating cushions that fit in here. It's early February at 9:30 in the morning, and there's already heat on here that is probably in excess of 90 degrees. Imagine in the time of the summer how much heat goes into your bathroom with the door shut. It's a lot of heat. So do yourself a favor when you're away and put those in there. Other big thing that we've done, which was probably unnecessary until we started cooking, was the tile back there. Now you can see when I pan over here by the trash can, you see the staining. This wood, if there's any staining at all, picks up and it stays there. You can't just clean it. That's just from our trash can sitting there. Imagine cooking salmon and bacon and sausage and eggs. Well, this gets pretty dirty, and this is lightweight stuff, so this is not real tile. This is, if you're familiar with this at all, it's just decals. It's stickers from Home Depot. It's about $4 or so per square foot, and then you cut it, you trim it to fit. It's a little tricky, but it looks really nice, and it cleans up really, really easy, and most importantly, covers up the stains on this lightweight wood. But it's also somewhat heat resistant. It's not going to sit here and melt. It's built for backsplashes, but if you do get an open flame close enough, it will start to be bad for you. The other big thing, we do the Keurig. I don't know about how everybody feels about that, but that's a big plus. We always set it up at night before we go to bed, and you know, we plug it up, water's already in it, and it's ready to go in the mornings. The other big thing I would suggest is, I saw Robert mounted his paper towel holder this way. This is probably, in my opinion, the most efficient use of space. And you know, you don't have to trim your paper towels. A full paper towel rack will fit in there the way this is mounted. Really nice look, super efficient. It's not going to take up any space. It's going to do a good job of servicing your needs. The other thing we did, you notice a little hole here. We took the cover, this stuff, off of this window because it was hanging almost all the way over the halfway point to where you couldn't even open it without rubbing it. And you know, it's a small enough window. You got very few windows anyway. Just take it off. You need the window. One other thing we keep up here is a very small humidifier. And what's interesting, this outlet is not a full outlet. If you can see, this is actually got a cover. They've only given you the one outlet, which is interesting. But we put a small humidifier in there when we're traveling to really dry areas. And at night, we leave the door open for that area, and that humidifier blows moisture into the RV, which is really useful. Again, the foam cover for the fan area, and of course we went with the Fantastic fan as well. Great idea. Use it at night instead of using the AC, because the AC is extremely loud. You know, leave that on low. I don't have the remote, but leave it on low, and if it gets too cold, just shut the window right by your head over here. Now, one big thing that when you're talking about infants and children, and this is where I was going to go, all these little lights on your fridge, the light up there on the radio, and the green light on the charger thing, and you know, you got to contend with daylight coming in at night or early in the morning. You know, if you're thinking about your child as they're sleeping, cut down on as much of that as possible, and they'll have a better night. Now, we did camp over 2 weeks. This was our home, and we had our queen size bed for me and the wife, and it was great. I loved it. Now, we don't co-sleep. We at that point, now this is February, we're talking about last summer, we actually used the pack and play, and I'll show you how we modified. It's going to be a little awkward here, but I will show you. The dinette actually works great for pack and play. If you're still dealing with a toddler or an infant, go with the pack and play. Don't go with the fold out dinette. It will save them a lot of heartache, and you. It's a little bit of a chore, but take a look at my pipes down here. So I've cut 3 pipes that will sit out here at the edge, and then 2 pipes that sit into the retainers at the bottom, and then in the dinette table at the top. Now, I'm going to try to set this up real quick here. Hopefully, I'm not sure if that's going to fit right. Let's see. Nope. Live video. First time, folks. Okay. Hopefully that works. So, don't time me, because I haven't done this in a few months. Pull your really awkward pipes out, tubes, whatever you want to call it. Throw those into storage. You set your smaller diameter pipes in here, and you've got to turn your dinette with the angle to the inside to make this work. But we're going to drop this dinette table down past where it normally sits, and we're going to have to line that up. Now, it's going to be a little awkward at first. I'll show you. The dinette table sits just on the ledge, and that's why those pipes are cut the way they are. Those pipes are sitting in there like that, and I'm going to pull this table. It will not move any farther unless you're standing on this edge to fall down. And it's not going to go left or right. It's not going to go back. Now, you set these last 3 tubes here at the end. Let's see. We have to set it up and I'll show you. So these 3 tubes stabilize and hold weight. All right, so see the tubes? They're holding all the weight in the world. Now, you've got your dinette set down here like that. Plenty of room to walk past, right? Now I'm going to show you the setup real quick. I can get that to stabilize. Here we go. All right, so here's the pack and play. That's a chore in itself. Like I just said, gonna have it set this up in a few months. Okay. So the wheels are gonna go out. Alright, pack and play is not working with me right now. Oh, well, I think our pack and play is broken. Well, that didn't survive. So anyway, there's the pack and play. See how it's set in there? It's not going to go that way because of the wall. Unfortunately, my pack and play is broken, but the wheel's set just on the edge, right? Now, you may think that's treacherous, but it's not going to fall far. And if it does, the wheels are going to catch on the ground. But again, this thing's up and out of the way. Baby has its own place to sleep outside of mom and daddy. This is the way to go. Sorry if I'm winded. The other thing that I'll show you as far as that goes, this year we're not going to go with the pack and play. She's just about grown out of it. We're going to go with the toddler bed, and we're just going to do the regular dinette table up, and then the toddler bed actually fits in here, and we've got a sheet we'll roll up to hold her in so she doesn't roll out. So that should actually work really well this year. What else? That's super loud. I agree, Robert. This space, real quick, we do this. We get these guys, this, I think this is a Camping World special. These little fake bars, we get 2 of those, put them in there, and then that holds all of our food stuff. See how it shrinks in there? So it sits in there like that. It's actually pretty darn good, stretched across there. I think that's it, all I want to show you. Now, go back outside real quick and we'll complain if you're ready for that. Oh, daylight. All right, so I'm going to show you my wheels and tires because they're brand new. Why are they brand new? Well, when we took delivery of the unit in March of 15, we did a few local runs. We did a couple of maybe 100 miles or something, and then we went on the long trip to Montana. Well, we made it to the panhandle of Texas, 600 miles in, and the tires were gone. They were exceedingly worn. And so the tires had roughly 650 to 700 miles on them, and the wear on it was such that It was really bad to the inside on one set of axles, and then on the inside on another, and just really weird wear. And I called the dealer, replaced the tires at a really nice shop, good tires. I think it was the Michelin off-brand, and we set out on our trip. And of course, we still had excessive wear, and we had 3,800 miles left on the trip. Well, when we got back, those brand new tires were completely gone. Took it to the shop, and we didn't have it for 90 days. The trailer was being worked on for that long, and I think Winnebago towables, one person in particular who kept getting thrown under the bus, was responsible for causing the delay. They ended up sending two manufacturing experts from Winnebago. I forget who did the towables before Winnebago had the brand, but they came down and they looked at the unit and determined that the axles were actually either the wrong axles or installed improperly. I forget, but Winnebago paid, and the shop replaced both axles, both wheels on both sides, and all the tires. They took care of that under warranty, and we haven't gone very far, but since then we've had no issues. So as far as big problems from the factory, that's it. As far as first time videos go, I hope I've done a decent job. Robert, thanks for sharing yours. And if you have any questions, let me know.